Hello and welcome to Michael's Minty Music for today. Today we review Duran Duran's 1995 cover album, Thank You. It's pretty bad if I'm being honest. This is the track listing, and this is the only track I added to my playlist, just the title track, Thank You, which is a cover of Led Zeppelin song, which is pretty decent. The album as a whole is pretty bad. The tracks chosen are alright, I guess. They're probably pretty good in their original context, but Duran Duran isn't a good artist for most of them, in my opinion. Even some of the ones that fit a bit better aren't particularly outstanding, and the band doesn't really bring anything new or interesting to the songs overall. They're a weird genre mismatch of older rock and pop tracks next to newer late 80s and 90s sort of hip-hop soul tracks. It really doesn't play well, and the flow is not great as a result. The album is just so wildly inconsistent that it can't ever get a single sound or energy going, so it just kind of flops immensely. Individual tracks kind of sound alright in a vacuum, but they're still all covers, and as far as I can tell, the originals are probably mostly better. So there was only one single released before the album, a cover of Lou Reed's Perfect Day, I believe from 1972. It was highly appreciated by Lou Reed himself, so that one's probably a hit here, but I didn't particularly enjoy it. My favorite song here is obviously the title track, the only track I added to my playlist, and the only one here that I kind of like on its own, that I'll listen to on its own. The rest of them are just sort of mid versions of their originals, so I ranked this album last out of all of Duran Duran's albums. It's a cover album, which would probably rank it pretty low even if it was decent, and this album's not even very decent. Even their worst albums like Red Carpet Massacre, Pop Trash, and Medazza Land have some interesting stuff on them and at least have some creativity going on. Thank You is just poor renditions of other people's songs with literally no originality. The only original song on this album is just a redo of one of their older songs. So this is definitely the worst Duran Duran album. Even Danse Macabre, which is another sort of pseudo cover album, has kind of a theme going, and that one is really sort of this one, but better. Additionally, this album doesn't take my top spot from 1995. That goes to Queen's final album, Made in Heaven, which is definitely significantly better than Thank You. There's not even a competition here. It's an original, great album that is much better than this one. Next up is Talking Heads' final album, 1988's Naked. I'm interested to see how they end it. Their last album was still good, but it wasn't outstanding, so I'm pretty interested in hearing sort of their final send-off here. So stay tuned for that, and as always, stay minty.